Hello, light beings. Good morning, good morning. Welcome to day 5 of our 5-day experiential journey to stepping out of the human and discovering the being. How's everyone doing? Congratulations. Hey, everybody. So, Deni Van here. I am your SuBBuM guru, and SuBBuM is your spirit, body, breath, mind coach, guiding you, all of the little yous, to rediscover, reconnect, and realize the larger part of you. Welcome, welcome, welcome to day 5 of our journey together. Hello, welcome, light being. Thank you for joining. And as other people come on, what I'm going to do is just kind of recap the last 4 days so that we can kind of move together through these days and then move from here. And on day 1, if you remember, we talked about how all of nature shows us, physics shows us, that everything has 2 parts which create a whole. So there's a part that is in constant movement, always changing, never the same. And there's a part of us that is the endless stillness. There is a part of us that is the verb and a part of us that is the noun. There is a part of us that is experiencing and a part of us that is holding the space for whatever it is we are experiencing, whether we label it good or bad. The part of us that holds the space for it doesn't judge, right? Then on day 2, we broke down exactly what the human is. It's all the movements that nature shows us. Our human aspect of self is the movement. So what is that? Anything that belongs to time. And time is the master of this realm. So anything and everything that belongs to time is part of the movement. So what belongs to time? Anything related to our 5 senses, this material world, anything in change and movement, which is our bodies, our thoughts, our dreams, our ideas, our training, anything that society gives us to believe, our thoughts that come and we put attention on and believe it. We put our attention on the movement and then we start to think we are the movement. Then on day 3, we discovered the being, the stillness that we are. And we looked at things that nature shows us naturally, because even all the masters will say, it's right there. It's our natural state. So we look to nature. What does nature show us? That is our natural state. Nature shows us there is a part in movement and a part in stillness. And on day 4, yesterday, we put it all together. We learn how to recognize when we're in the oscillation, moving back and forth between when we're perceiving from the movement of our human and when we're perceiving from the stillness of our being. And knowing that there's this pull, magnetic pull, or addiction. I like addiction better than magnetic pull, because with a magnetic pull, there's really no control over it. But with addictions, you can withdraw your attention from it and eventually just completely ignore it. So it's more of an addiction, really, isn't it, to that movement. We love shiny things and we love to focus our attention on all kinds of other things other than the self. So today, light beings, is going to be a little bit different than the last 4 days, because on day 5, we're just going to experience it together. And then as we recognize when we're perceiving from the being aspect of self, this is when we move forward in life, as love, rather than trying to set intentions and do things and focus on things and trying to make things happen and make the energy go certain ways. We sit in it and then things flow naturally. It's quite a visceral difference in the feeling that we get from sitting in the space of beingness or being in our human and trying to do things and get things done. All right, like being so, on day 5 today, we're going to go ahead and start in the being. So we're going to do a stillness meditation to really recognize our stillness and recognize the larger part of us, and then come back and move forward in life as life from the stillness that you are. All right, so how we doing, everyone? Thank you so much for being with me on this journey. It is such a pleasure. And after yesterday, I've gotten so many messages from many of you saying that, I'm really starting to recognize this in everyday things. And I'm really starting to recognize when I'm in my thoughts, in the busyness of my thoughts, and then all of a sudden I realize I could take a look at that, and I realized that that's not me. It's just the movement. This right here is such a blessing, to be able to have other human beings recognize the two aspects of self. And then from this space, how light and how freeing to be able to move through life from this space. All right, so get ready to have the stillness meditation. Find a comfortable spot. Allow both feet to be flat on the floor, because remember, we are little systems. We have both parts, right? We have the positive and the negative, the movement and the stillness. We're in the material world, and we're also in the non-material world. We're involved in time, and we're also part of the timeless. So come into this space of stillness, all right? So what I'm going to do is I'll put up a visual so you don't have to stare at me, and I'd like for you to close your eyes and find this space of stillness while I get that visual together for you. Here we go. And beautiful, precious light being that you are, allow yourself the time and the space to sit. Allow your feet to be flat on the floor. Feel your sub-bum on the chair. Relax the belly. Let the belly expand. Don't try and hold anything in. Just let it completely relax. And naturally, while we are settling into our stillness and withdrawing our energy from the movement of our human, it is going to try and get your attention naturally. Sometimes we may get thoughts such as, I wish my mind would stop. That right there is just a thought. Release it, let it go. Come back to your stillness. Allow my voice to bring you deeper into this space. Recognizing that from this space, all states, including the movement of our emotions, the movement of our thoughts, the movement of our body will be there. Bring our attention away from the movement and back to stillness. You may also experience maybe a thought. This is nothing. This is stupid. I must not be doing it right. I haven't felt the being yet. You'll never feel the being. The being's not really there. You may experience the mind not wanting you to remove your attention from it, to bring it into complete stillness. Just allow the mind to do what it's going to do and transcend. Watch it and then bring your attention back to stillness. Sometimes our senses will pick up internal noises, such as internal visions or internal sounds, or even internal tastes and smells. That is only the movement of the human. Transcend it, withdraw your attention from it, and come back to stillness. In the space of beingness, you remember everything that you are by letting go of everything you are not. You are not anything from the movement. You hold the space for the movement to occur. As you sit in your beingness, allow it to expand beyond your physicalness. Sit in nothingness. The nothingness, the womb of thought. There are no words for this space, only experience. Allow yourself to experience you, the larger part of you, the timeless. The longer you sit in your beingness, the more internal space you create. And the more internal space you create, the more you recognize the movement of the human. The more you recognize movement of thoughts, the movement of beliefs, the movement of dreams, the movement of the body, which belongs to time. And time moves in the space of stillness, which is you. And begin to slowly come back into your body. Come back to the now. Hey, how you guys doing? Let me just read the comments. Hey, hi everybody. Namaste. Thank you, light beings. Thank you, thank you. So, that was pretty easy, huh? When you're guided to this place, it's easy. After time, you'll be able to recognize when you're not in stillness and come into that stillness. Thank you for the hearts. So, now that you've experienced the beingness, the stillness that is you, awareness, mindfulness becomes almost like a practice, but just ask yourself one question. Where am I perceiving from? And as we begin to learn to move in life from this space of stillness, we begin to recognize. You remember that list on day one that I asked you to answer the question, who am I? And we wrote out all of those things that I am Deni, I am a mother, I am this, I am that. When we recognize the stillness of our being and then come back, we get to choose. We get to choose what we put our attention on. And those things that we no longer put our attention on will naturally begin to fall away. Those things meaning thoughts we may used to have, ideas or beliefs we may used to have, but also people that may have been in our experience too, because we draw other people based on where we are vibrationally, right? When you come into this space of being, your internal vibration automatically rises. And when you come back and recognize all of the movement of your human, I'll tell you something, what happened to me, and has happened to many other people as well, that, when you come back and you realize, oh, I really don't like that part about me. And then you realize, oh, that's not me. As long as I'm putting my attention on it, it velcros to me. It sticks to me because I'm feeding it. When I withdraw my attention from it, it's no longer being fed. Now I get to choose what I put my attention on. This is so powerful. The more beings, human beings, who can recognize this place, this space within, we can't be manipulated in this place. We can be manipulated in the movement of our human because of fear. Fear is a great manipulating tool. But when you're in the space of the being, fear can be seen and watched. And you know that that fear is not you. But when you're in the movement of your human, oh my gosh, I have this fear. And somebody says, look, you have this fear. You have to buy this, or you have to do this, or you have to believe in this in order to alleviate this fear. You see it all. There's no manipulation here. And you see more of the sojourn of it. For example, I have this thought that comes, you're not good enough. Now, the human will see the thought, you're not good enough, and completely buy into it and then start doing things to rectify this thought. The being sees the thought, you're not good enough. There's the birth of the thought. Here's the sojourn. I have the beginning of that thought. It might go through my body a little bit, and my body might have little reactions to it. And then it's gone. So the difference is I'm in my human, in the movement, things constantly changing. I have a thought, I'm not good enough. I'm not good enough. I need people to like me. I have to have people like me. I got to learn different things. I got to change it to something other than what I am right now. Fear comes up and you have to do something. Remember, the human is the doer. When you're in the space of the being and you have the thought, I'm not good enough, you see the movement of it. You see that it's just moving. Oh, look, here comes a thought. There it goes. I remove my attention from it and it's gone. Do you feel the difference? Do you feel how liberating this could be for any human being to know that that movement has no control over you from the space of your being? All right, so this has been such a wonderful journey. Please keep your messages coming. I love your messages. And then post here in our group as well, Light Beings Assembly. And if you like my page and you also are in the group, you will be notified when we go live. So watch out for that. So thank you so much from my heart to yours, Light Beings. This has been a wonderful honor to be here with you during our 5-day experiential journey to stepping out of the movement craziness of the human and the endless stillness of the being. All right, with that said, thank you so much. Blessings.